Soy.
Hello, yes, my name is Jamie Clement and I work for Vicens Vives as one of the editors who prepare books for English. Now we do lots of different books, but we do a lot of books for literature and classic books and more modern books. When I was at university, I studied languages. I studied French and English, and I also had to study them at school, and I read lots of books in French and in Spanish. And at the beginning I found it really difficult. I think it is difficult to read a book in another language. You have to look up all the words, it takes time. But I continued, and I remember the first book that I read, it was in French, that I really enjoyed. And it was a book about an adolescent who had a very difficult time growing up. And I remember just suddenly that I was reading the book and I wanted to find out what was going to happen. I wanted to know what was going to happen in this story, and I forgot about the language, and I enjoyed the story, and it was fantastic, because I think the reason for reading in another language enables you to improve your language tremendously, but you've got to forget that you're learning a subject. What you've got to do is just focus on enjoying the story. That's the most important thing, and that's why reading is so important, because it enables you to discover a whole new world in each story. Not just the story, but the history, where it's happening, the culture round about, all about the lives of the people, and it is really a key to discover new worlds and to really expand your horizons, and that's why I think reading is so important. So I'd encourage you to continue, because I know it's not easy at the beginning, and I remember struggling, but I'd really encourage you to carry on reading. So I can tell you a little bit about some of the books that we do. One of the books we do are short stories. For example, here's one which is Gothic short stories. Okay, now these are very dark horror stories. You can see actually in the illustrations they've got stories of ghosts, of usually with a very unexpected ending, and sometimes fairly horrific. But they're a good story to read, I think, because with a ghost story you want to know what's going to happen, and that's a good way of starting to really enjoy reading. It doesn't have to be horror. You can have adventure stories, or there's a classic story like Hamlet, another ghost story. But I think the important thing is to just enjoy it, you know, and don't worry about trying to understand it all. Just try and get an idea of the story and enjoy it. And when you do start to do that, it opens up a whole new world to you. And I can tell you as well that your language improves at the same time. And suddenly you can understand a lot more than you could before. And you're enjoying it. It's fun. So yeah, I'd encourage you to do it. Okay.